the Los Angeles Lakers enter. I can't even call it the second half of the season. We're almost 2/3 of the way through. But they've got 23 games left. Right now, they are the 13th seed in the Western Conference. And they've got to get within the top 10 to make the play-in. They are 2 games out of the play-in. And they are just 3.5 games out of actually being the 6th seed, which would mean, they just make the playoffs and don't have to be in the play-in tournament. That's for 7, 8, 9, and 10 seeds. So, LeBron James says it's not in his DNA to miss the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. So here he is, Rob, talking at the All-Star game about what he intends to do going forward.
23 of the most important games of my career for a regular season. It's the type of mindset that I have and the guys will have coming back off the break.
All right, he says, Rob, this is LeBron in his 20th year, 4 championships, 4 MVP awards, saying these final 23 games are among the most important in his entire career. Your thoughts?
Poppycock, Boulder Dash. It sounds good, but
it does sound good.
It does sound good. I give him credit for that. I give him credit, but I'm not buying these are the most important 23 games of his career or whatever. He wants to make the playoffs. Sure, Chris. Does he want to be in his 5th season with the Lakers? 3 years they didn't make the playoffs? Is that what he wants? I don't think he really wants that. And they do have a championship wrapped around and and they played in the play-in game, right? So his resume, while it has a championship, is very checkered. And this will be another year of not making the playoffs. And it would be a blow to him. And I'm sure he wants to make the playoffs because it doesn't look good. But the most important 23 games, no, I don't think so.
I think 2 things. One, Rob, I think he was sending a message, and maybe I'm saying these backwards, but I will do it. I think he was sending a message to a teammate. That teammate being Anthony Davis. I think LeBron James was sending a message to Anthony Davis that what I'm saying up here, AD, this is the attitude I want you to have. I want you to go at 29 years old. I want you to go into these last 23 games saying, I'm playing every night. And I am going to get us into the playoffs. I really think that, Rob. And there are some.
Chris, that might be right, because who else was that for? The most important?
I was talking to somebody in the league today, and he was saying that there's some feeling around the league, and I just talked to one person, but he's in the know, that, LeBron is just looking at AD like, come on, man. Like, you got to, what's going on? Which is just, Rob, to be honest, common sense, right? Why wouldn't you look at AD like that? Even though you love him, as LeBron said, and he's your boy, and he's a great player. You got anybody in their right mind would be looking at AD like, dude, I'm in my 20th season. I'm 38 years old. I'm on the tail end. You are smack dab in the middle of your prime. You should be destroying people right now. You should be leading us to the playoffs. And there are those that feel like the Dallas Mavericks, in their perfect scenario this offseason, would be able to do a sign and trade of Kyrie Irving to the Lakers, Rob, for Anthony Davis. Now, I wouldn't do that if I'm the Lakers. I don't think Kyrie and LeBron are any better than AD, and banged up AD and LeBron. But if you get, say, Kyrie Irving and Christian Wood or something like that, then maybe you consider doing it. And so if AD wants to stay in LA, show me something. Show me something. So I do think, Rob, he was speaking It's my opinion. It's not inside information. I do think he was speaking to AD, sending a message.
And did AD get the message?
We'll find out.
Not the way he didn't stand up when LeBron had one of the biggest moments of his career. Like, he ain't listening. He got earplugs in.
Well, he played well in their last game.
I'm
was
just
encouraging.
saying. Yeah, but I'm saying that there's definitely a rub there already, Chris, is what I meant, is that there's a rub. So I don't know for sure. But, I mean, they can move AD. They can go ahead and try to get Kyrie or do whatever.
I mean, ideally, you'd get Kyrie with AD, right? That's what you're trying to do if you're the Lakers.
Well, what would
can't sign him to a max, but you could sign him to a healthy contract.
You're talking about to
in the off season.
In the off season, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about there was some sort of.
I think
deal.
Dallas would like to get AD for Kyrie, but if I'm the Lakers, I'm trying to team Kyrie.
Yeah,
with
but would Kyrie accept that? It wouldn't be exactly the max.
Would he accept? Yeah, if it's
right.
not the max, I don't know. I mean, he might not have a choice,
Right.
But here's the other thing, Rob, and this is along the lines of what you were saying. I don't buy either that these are 23 of the most important games of LeBron's career. I like the sentiment. I like that he's putting it out there. And like you said, it sounds great. It's the right thing to say. But, and I don't know if you agree with this, LeBron is playing with house money. There's nothing LeBron's going to do for the rest of his career that's going to tarnish his legacy.
Even if he doesn't make the playoffs. No. Kobe didn't make the playoffs, Chris, his last 6 years in the NBA. Nobody will mention that.
Was it 6?
Or last 5. Look it up. His last 5, and then LeBron didn't make it his first year, so the Lakers went 6 years without making the playoffs. Almost positive.
They did go 6. You're right. They did go 6 years.
It was 5
straight.
with Kobe and 1 with LeBron to start.
Wow. I never thought about that, but you're right. I'll look it up. But, yeah, I think you're right. Jordan, last 2 years in Washington, didn't make the playoffs. It's like he didn't even play in Washington. So I that's why these can't be 23 of the most important games of LeBron's career. Because, if he doesn't make the playoffs, it's not a huge deal. Sure. I mean, he's still playing great. You think Kobe's last time in the playoffs, Rob, was 2012. Yeah, so his last season, last 4 years, he didn't make the playoffs. But he was hurt, remember? 1 year only played 6 games.
Was it 4? How did the Lakers I thought they made it.
In 2012, they made the playoffs.
So you know what? Then did LeBron not make it the second year too? Is that when they had to play in? I thought the Lakers went 6 years without going to the playoffs. Wasn't it 6?
I don't know, but I know Kobe made the playoffs. The Lakers made the second round in 2011, 2012. And then they actually made it in 2013 as well. Kobe, I think, didn't play in that. So they only missed it the last 3 years of Kobe's career. Rob, LeBron didn't join right after Kobe retired. That's where your math is. They didn't
make the playoffs, so who?
They didn't make the playoffs once Kobe was gone.
How many years?
Kobe only missed the playoffs his last 3 years.
I know the Lakers went 6 years without making the playoffs.
But there was 3 years in between Kobe retiring and LeBron joining the team.
Oh, was it? Okay.
And then even the first year of that 3 straight for Kobe where he missed the playoffs, he only played 6 games. And then the next year he only played 35. So it wasn't like he was missing the playoffs because he just was injured and banged up. And then his last year when he played 66 games, they didn't make the playoffs. They were horrible that year. But yeah, I mean, nobody's going to look at LeBron any differently if they don't make the playoffs. That's why I agree with you that, he was just saying the right thing. He was saying what you should say as the leader of your ball club. And again, that's why I think, Rob, he was sending a message to his co-star, Anthony Davis.
Yeah, that's all he could be talking to because it wasn't to fans. It wasn't to the media. Who else was that for? I mean, like they're the most important. No, you had other important games already. And maybe if you could get to the postseason and make yourself a run, there'll be some other important games in that, Chris, but not not these last 23. Because if you don't make the playoffs, is it the end of the world? Are people going to erase your legacy and write something else in pencil or pen? No. So,
well, like I said, right, I think people look more negatively at AD than LeBron. How you going to look negatively at a guy who's 38 years old, averaging 30 points a game? Okay, yeah, he's not what he was 6 years ago. But so what? He's still 38 in his 20th year and had by far the best season ever at that stage of your career. You're looking at the other guy, the other star who's younger, who's in his prime, and who was supposed to have taken the torch from LeBron. So AD's, like I said, right, that's why I think he's talking to AD, or at least, I don't know, but, sending him a message like, dude, this is the mentality that you got to have.
yeah, but that should be on a personal level. You don't.
Well,
need to
he
do
didn't
all
name
that.
him though, so it's not
No,
like
I get it, but I'm just saying,
putting
like,
it out there myself.
Like, to me, that conversation, if you want to be with somebody, it's like the conversation. Just I think sometimes we all have issues with having conversations with people, but you have to do it sometimes in order to get things righted.
Yeah, I would think that privately he's talked to AD and maybe even said those very words like, look, man, these last 23 games are some of the most important of our career. I wouldn't doubt that. And I think for AD, Rob, they are. For AD, they are. Because, again, you're young, you're 29, you're in your prime. Everybody now is kind of like AD is labeled, Rob. Yeah, great player, but he's labeled as a guy that can't stay healthy. And the only way to end that label is to go out there and be dominant for these last few months and lead your team to the playoffs.
I agree with that. I mean, is it going to happen? I don't know. 23 games, a lot can happen. Can he stay healthy? I hate to keep saying that, but it's a part of.
I wonder when the last time he played 23 straight games was.
Yeah, that's what I'm just going to say. Every time he, Well, did you see that comment Reggie Miller made or something? That when AD went down or something. Did you see that? Reggie Miller was doing.
Well, he didn't play an All-Star game, of course.
No. It was during the season, and he went down, and I think he kind of made a joke about AD going down, and the color guy, the play-by-play guy, kind of went silent because it was a dig at him. Like he went down or whatever.
Right.
And all Laker fans just exhaled or whatever. You know what I mean? Like he was hurt again or something.
Yeah. Nah, look, every time he goes down, you wonder, is he getting back up anytime soon? So Reggie was right if that's what he said. All right.